Good evening, Trump's family. Welcome back to my channel. Have a good night, everyone, and God bless you. Alright, the following is a collection of news from Patriots. Let's get into the news this late night. Alright, Chris Christie, you said who wants to jump in the pool with President Trump? Well, I guess you know how President Trump is. This should have not come as a surprise that President Trump would have something to say about what you had to say. And this is what Trump treat truth out. Sloppy Chris Christie, the failed former governor of New Jersey, spent almost his entire last year in office campaigning in New Hampshire for the Republican nomination for president, much like his term in office where he left with an approval rating of just 9%. His presidential campaign was a complete disaster. He endorsed me the following day, letter recommended Chris Wray for the FBI. How did that work out? Went down in flames and then was salvaged by ABC fake news. I never wanted him to witch Chris Christie in a Twitter truth feud, as now whining that he is the target of Donald Trump's new tantrum. None of his lies about me today bothered him when he asked me to prep him for every general election debate or offered me 3 different cabinet posts. He's the only man to lose to Biden outside Delaware. That loss to Joe still stings. If you read here, I don't know how you don't remember this. I never wanted him. Like I never wanted him in a cabinet posts, or I never wanted him for president. I'll let you decide what he meant there. But Newsweek yesterday is saying that there's another one who is insisting that Trump can't be Biden in 2024. Republican governor insists Trump can't be Biden, despite polling data. New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu said yesterday that Trump can't beat Biden in 2024 despite seeming headwinds against the incumbent president. Interesting choice of words given the Chinese spy balloon debacle. Unlike other Republican state leaders in the traditionally blue-skewing Northeast, Sununu was open in a support for Trump throughout his rise of the presidency, not even opting to launch a primary challenge against him last time around following Trump's defeat that year and his subsequent claim scenario. Began speaking out critically against President Trump in early 2022. He knocked Trump's pledge to pardon Capitol riot participants if he regained the White House in 2024. This critique reportedly incensed Trump enough for him to look for a potential challenger to run against the new in the midterms. Sununu has also frequently spoken out against Trump's recent bid to seek re-election, especially after the former president's negative influence was widely blamed on the GOP and their performance in the November midterms. Let me see President Trump as not part of the RNC. He isn't have the purse that the RNC has, yet 233 out of 253 of his picks won. I love how they're still trying to spin this as a loss for President Trump. On Sunday, while appearing on ABC News This Week, the New Hampshire governor said he believes Trump could not beat Biden in 2024, despite consistent polls suggesting Democrats are disillusioned with the president. So folks, just like President Trump was super popular as president, a lot of people came into the Republican Party that were lifelong and decades long. Democrats like a huge portion of the Black and Hispanic community. Joe Biden, we're told, somehow still got 81 million votes. So even though he's doing terribly, according to Sununu, he is going to beat Trump in 2024. And we go back to showing this earlier. But when we go back to whining Chris Christie, someone said, "You sound like you're still wearing these pants." That was pretty funny. Funny visual. Let's follow the money. South Carolina Democrat James Clyburn, who was one of the people that got Joe Biden to win in the primary after getting everyone else to get out in South Carolina, which led them to become the Democrat Party nominee and winner of their primaries to go against Trump in 2020. And that is why he's got paid back in South Carolina, got paid back where Iowa is no longer the first state in the Democrat primaries. It'll now be South Carolina. South Carolina has been very good. James Clyburn and James Clapper Burns. Who's been there? I think since the 90s uncontested. That's right. He still raises a whole bunch of money to feed to his family. South Carolina damaged James Clapper and funneled 6 figures from campaign funds to family lifecycle filing show. His son-in-law and grandson benefited from the campaign. South Carolina Democratic Representative James Clyburn funneled 6 figures worth of campaign cash to 2 of his family members throughout the 2022 election cycle filing show. The longtime congressman's campaign largesse included forking tens of thousands of dollars over to a company, which of course, that's how the nepotism works, then write a check out to send a loss company. He also sent $100,000 to his grandson. Federal election records show I read somewhere else it was like just under 1,000. So wouldn't catch people's attention was like 98,200, something like that. While it's legal for federal politicians to pay family members from their campaigns, ethics experts have generally disapproved of the practice. Despite this, both political parties have taken advantage of the perk. But folks, the money continues, flowing into the pockets of these deep state treasonous traitorous rat bastards. Let's go to Mike Gallagher, who sits on the House Intelligence Committee. And a little reminder, pointing something out. Very important about what Trump did that Biden undid when it comes to following the money that is ending up in Joe Biden's own coffers. And this is some big news. Now China has issued a stark warning to the Americas. As plans unravel to recover the fallen spy balloon, China stated the airship does not belong to the United States, it belongs to China. Despite the statement, the Navy has used special reconnaissance equipment to recover some of the debris. The debris will probably be studied to determine its purpose, as America will likely gather evidence to combat China's claim that these were civilian weather balloons versus balloons being used to spy on American citizens. With all the controversy surrounding these balloons, defense researcher Timothy Heath has explained why they had a difficult time detecting the air balloons. He stated, once you've identified a satellite in space, you can track its orbit, and you can accurately predict when it will pass and when it will be seen. In simple terms, these balloons are controlled, which allowed China to position them just out of sight of overwatching satellites. Now there's no telling how much data China has collected on Americans' military installations, the government. But these were able to be undetected because they knew where to move them just outside of the basically vision of American satellites even during the Trump era. Now Joe Biden last night delivered the State of the Union speech, which some have dubbed his first 2024 presidential election speech overall. Biden took a pretty bipartisan stance while addressing Republicans. He stated, to my Republican friends who voted against it but still asked to fund projects in their districts, don't worry, we'll fund your project, and I'll see you at the groundbreaking in terms of Democrat ideas. Biden attacked billionaires and promised to make them pay their fair share of taxes and touted his plan to remove junk fees such as upcharges for families to sit together on airlines. He also touched on his support for gun control, abortion rights, and touted the bipartisan push to improve drug addiction treatment. He also said that he would handle the drug situation at the southern border with fentanyl, to which Republicans yelled out, "It's your fault that people are dying." So it got a little bit hairy there for a minute. Now on the Republican side, Trump released a pre-recorded video which almost seemed like a debate response. In the video, he heavily criticized Biden on immigration, his handling of Ukraine, and his weaponization of the Justice Department. Trump ended his response by stating, "I am running for president to end the destruction of our country and to complete the unfinished business of making America great again." Now, there was an argument that broke out between Biden and Republicans mid-speech where Biden lied and said Republicans want to get rid of Social Security and Medicare. The crowd booed and called Biden a liar. They had a heated back and forth right there on live TV, and Biden said, "Oh, good, it's settled, Social Security and Medicare are off the table." So went back and forth. Overall, the fact-checkers say that Biden lied several times about Republican policies and Republican people, but overall, he could have been much more harsh on his Republican counterparts. Now, Wall Street responded to Biden's State of the Union speech by puking all over the market today. All major indexes were red and the negative. Gold and silver were basically neutral, and oil prices rose. Bitcoin and Ethereum also were down today. Now earlier today, congressional committees began questioning former Twitter employees under oath about their role in covering up the Hunter Biden laptop story and interfering in the presidential election. So far, most of them say they can't really remember much about their time at Twitter. Isn't that curious? Now journalist Seymour Hersh has just published a report claiming that the United States was to blame for blowing up the Russia to Germany gas pipeline, the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. Hersh claimed that national security sources informed him that the plan for attack started in late 2021. Now, in February of last year, President Biden himself stated, "If Russia invades, there will no longer be a Nord Stream 2, we will bring it down." When asked how he would be able to do this because it was under Germany's control, he stated, "I promise you, we'll be able to do it." Now Hersh reports. Rehearsal's report claims that Biden was able to convince German Chancellor Olaf Scholz to join the American side before making these statements, which seems to support the theory. With that being said, the White House has responded to these claims stating that they're utterly false and complete fiction. But Russia pushed back asking them to respond to the facts on the Hersh report. So basically, Putin agrees that Germany and the United States conspired in order to try to hurt Putin, but in the end, hurting the United States, and especially the European Union and the people of Germany. But what do you think? Do you think President Biden ordered the hit job on the Nord Stream pipeline with the Chancellor of Germany's blessing? Let me know your thoughts down below. Now, they will never admit this. Because Green Biden would be one of the biggest climate hypocrites and polluters in world history. So much pollution came out of this, hurting the ocean, hurting the air, and the Chancellor of Germany, he's never going to admit that he single-handedly caused the price of natural gas to skyrocket over 500% for the citizens of Germany. So although this does appear to have some teeth to it, and be true, I don't think we're ever going to find out because these two men would absolutely tarnish their reputations and be seen as another government hypocrite. Alright, now Elon Musk has teased that Tesla will be releasing their master plan for a sustained future on March 1st. Basically, Tesla and Elon Musk have put together a way to help save the planet. He claimed that the path to a fully sustainable planet will be detailed, which has sparked mass hype around the topic. Tesla stock has rebounded strongly to around $200 after hitting a low of $100 per share. So it's basically gone up close to 100% in a very short period of time. Now, this rebound is largely due to positive reports from the Federal Reserve and Tesla's own statistics, as most recently touted that the Tesla Model Y was the best-selling vehicle in California in 2022. So as much as they try to crap on Tesla, people are buying them left and right. Sadly, the death toll in the Turkey-Syria earthquake has climbed to over 11,000 people. So very sad. President Erdogan of Turkey has visited the area and is calling for humanitarian support as things are really ugly. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Of course, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and of course possibly subscribe if you're up for it. I'm gonna get back to work. I want to thank you guys for watching and all